The way I approach it is to give them documents of eyewitness testimonies, documents that don't necessarily agree. They maybe agree in some places where there is corroboration of a particular moment of the massacre. At other times they disagree about, what these soldiers are saying. I was never told to kill women and children, and another soldier saying, well, I was. So I have my students function as though it's a court setting. They've seen 1,000,001 trials on court shows, so they have some sense of what the process is and that they have to weigh evidence and find ways to figure out who's telling the truth. When I've used images like this or images of propaganda, I have them just work through the story. I think students sometimes are reluctant to just tell a narrative, or they think that somehow they're supposed to be offering some incredibly complicated insight. And so if you just have students answer the question, what is going on here? What do you see? They can collectively start to put it together. I see people about to fall off a cliff, or people celebrating. It gives us this maw in the ground, this sense of divide, that there's one figure on one side and there's another group of people on another side. They will, I think, arrive at some sense of division. And that's a great starting point for understanding what happened to the American public during the Vietnam War. There are clues that Conrad gives us. The My Lai ditch claims another victim. So obviously this space that he's drawing represents the My Lai ditch. It's not any ordinary ditch. It is an iconic image of the 20th century. And Lieutenant Calley, his name as well is spelled out. He is not an anonymous person. I would look at an image like this as a starting place and as a launching point to get students interested in a really complicated story. You can engage so many facets of the Vietnam War. You can talk about the actual incident at My Lai. You can talk about the trial, public reaction to the trial. The image of the ditch and the incident at My Lai lends itself to a discussion of American strategy there. But I think what it ultimately arrives at is questions of the ethics of who's responsible and which version of the story America wants to claim. And if students are conflicted, I think that's okay. Anyone who has too definitive a perspective on My Lai isn't really paying attention. I think Conrad would agree with me because he's targeting not the people who are confused. He's not criticizing the people who are sorting through. He's criticizing the people who are cheering and celebrating and are taking this singular one-sided view of the event.